Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the ABJ Podcast, episode 66 with Jaco, the greatest damn showman. The greatest damn showman is going to be joining the greatest damn podcast. I said it. I don't care. Come for me. I want that smoke. So he'll be here in a minute. Before we get into any of that, please check the links below to support all of my peeps. I have so many people right now that are going through some tough times on the independent wrestling scene. So make sure you check them out. Philly Mike Swanson's getting really close to that return. Tony Deppen just recently broke his arm. He's going through that. And Uncle Masty had a little bit of a slip and fall, got a little injured. So if you guys can support those guys, whether it be buying tickets to Smashmaster, buying some merchandise from Philly Mike or from Tony Deppen, please do so. Also, the links for myself as well as my guests are all available in the links below as well. If you would like to join the ABJ Patreon, that would be a huge help right now. Speaking of people needing as much help as they possibly can get, it would be your boy. Patreon can be as little as $1 or as much as you want to do. It's a monthly subscription. You can do it on here, or if you're listening to this later back on Spotify, there is a support this podcast feature right on there on the top. If you click it, also leave a 5-star review and a review if you tell me what you thought of the episode. But all that is available. New t-shirts are available. Logos by Hunter just dropped the Anthony Blackwell Jr. New logo that may look like the a little bit of an Undisputed Era look, which is super dope because I love me some Adam Cole and Kevin Owens. So now I have my duct tape shirt as well as my Undisputed Era shirt. I'm trying to kill time to show it to you guys real quick and pull it up. Also, there's 2 new versions of logos for Monday Night Raw. So there's 2 spoofs there. I'm very, very thankful that I have people like in my corner who are helping me with logos, that people have variety to choose from to maybe put a couple bucks in my pocket if people buy merchandise. So thank you guys for the support. Really appreciate you guys. I'll bring in the new logo when I bring in my guest. But first, let's get to the sponsor. What's keeping the lifeblood of this podcast right now, keeping it alive. You see it on the hat over my shoulder. You see it on the bottom. SVW Suplex Wrestling, guys. It has finally happened. An entire store fully dedicated to vintage wrestling. They said it can never be done, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Suplex Vintage Wrestling is a store curated by wrestling fans for wrestling fans, and it's located on 5th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just 1 block south of South Street in the heart of Queen Village. Their shop features the largest collection of vintage wrestling apparel under one classic roof. Their selection includes classic designs featuring your favorite wrestlers from the Golden Age, Attitude Era, Internationals, Indies, and more. And if you're tired of watching premium live events at home, SVW hosts the best watch parties since your friend Kyle's birthday party when you were 12. Are shirts and watch parties not your thing? Let's not forget their large selection of figures, replica belts, trading cards, and their t-shirts and hats from rare wrestling memorabilia. They have something for every wrestling enthusiast out there. So what are you waiting for? Check them out on suplex.svw on Instagram or their website and order some t-shirts, suplex@svw.com, and let them satisfy your professional wrestling needs. Also, if you follow them on Instagram, comment on one of their posts and just be like, hey, I'm here because ABJ sent me. Tell them, show them the value of this podcast and show them that you gave them a follow because of that, and show them that love. Please do so, because that's the whole purpose they're sponsoring this, to get more eyes on what they're doing. So check that out. And without further ado, let me bring in my guest, the greatest damn showman on the planet, my favorite, your favorite, Jaco. What's going on, my guy?
What's up? What's up? First of all, let me do the shtick. Get the shtick out the way, the Jaco shtick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, creatures, freaks of all ages, it is he, is I, it is me, is the greatest damn showman of this industry, Jaco. Welcome to the greatest damn show. Cool.
There it is.
All right, now I'm in it. Here we go.
I love it. I love it. Real quick, I said I was going to pull it up real quick. Check out this logo real fast. Look at this. Go.
Hey, new logo.
I drew that. I drew that ABJ thing. So like instead of the 3 triangles that said Adam, Cole, and Bobby, it's a little ABJ there. Dude, logos by Hunter. Hit that kid up. Kid's a maniac. Yeah, man, dude, I'm so happy that we're doing this. It's been a journey. I intentionally booked the entire takeover somehow in 1 month. We tried to get Face, but he wouldn't talk to me. So yeah, he said not a chance. Actually, I said, will you do a podcast? And he just went, and I said, I'm gonna fuck off. I'll see you later. Yeah. So, man, thank you once again for doing this. This is a blast. We've had many conversations on every side of the guardrail that you can imagine, and honestly, you're one of my favorite people to have a conversation with. And before the cameras roll, we got a little sentimental. We're going to talk about some things. So please buckle up. As we go about this podcast, make sure you put in your comments and questions that you may have as well. I will save the questions towards the end, but if you put them in, I will see them. And please feel free to engage in the chat. Make sure you hit those likes and shares. And if you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, make sure you head over to the YouTube side of things. I just passed 700 subscribers, so we can get close to that 1K. That would be amazing. All right, Jaco. First off, let's knock this out of the way right away. Let's get the basic questions out, the softballs, the jitters. Let's get the nerves out.
Yeah, let's go.
When did you fall in love with professional wrestling?
So, and it was funny. I was talking to my girl about this yesterday because, I have 2 kids. For those that don't know, my daughter loves it. My son doesn't. So my son kind of reminds me of me. When I was like really young, I couldn't care for wrestling for some reason. I didn't like it. I don't know why. I just didn't like it. It wasn't until like, maybe he's going to be like me later. Like when I hit 10 years old, there was just something different, something clicked. It was like seeing Undertaker. And the Undertaker is very daunting, very captivating, very mysterious, very like eerie. And it was so fucking cool. It was like, this is dope. What's this? This whole, just the entrance. He caught me on his entrance. I didn't need to see a move. It was just his entrance that caught me. I was just like, this is pretty cool. I like this. He took the hat off, his eyes rolled, it looked like superpowers. I was like, I liked superheroes growing up. So I was like, this is like superhero shit. This is cool. And then, later on the card, you seen like the smaller guys, the high flyers. I think it was like Paul London and Brian Kendrick at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tag team. They were like so like just flippy. And I'd never seen shit like that. I was like, I didn't know people could move like that. I didn't know the human body could do this. It was just so weird. It was so odd. And it was just like something like that around that time. I would say just a combination of like seeing something as captivating and eerie and daunting as The Undertaker, but then something as crazy and fast paced and like superhero-esque as like high flying with Paul London and Brian Kendrick and Jeff Hardy's and shit like that.
Yeah, pro wrestling is a variety show. I think Anthony Green said at the bus, it's essentially the Muppet Show. Professional wrestling is the Muppet Show. There's comedy, there's drama, there's sad, there's excitement, there's hatred, there's scary, there's spooky, there's confusion. If you don't leave a wrestling show physically exhausted and mentally exhausted because that show has taken you through the gamut of your emotions and feelings, and if you don't go to a wrestling show and put yourself in a scenario that you feel those range of emotions and feelings, you're doing it wrong. I know mentally after a commentary, I'm shot. I'm spent. Done. Spent. The next day I just sit in a dark room because I can't. You put so much of those emotions into a match. Your last match at IWA, man, I was getting like I was emotional after
you guys get. I felt it. Like there was a moment, and like I wanted to bring it up that I loved during the match, where like it's just something so simple. Like I was just chopping the shit out of PJ, chopped him in the corner, and then like the little crooked ref, whatever's like kind of like jumped in the way, whatever, and the crowd just starts chanting Jaco, Jaco, and then you stop talking. You just stop talking. You just like let it sink in. I was like, wow. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. So cool.
Yeah, that's definitely something I had to learn. And I try to tell other people on commentary is you don't have to talk the whole time. Sometimes just let the match and what's happening speak for itself. And I learned that at the Sanctuary, because the Sanctuary, like the cameras are going to pick up your speech because the cameras are right there on top of you. So if you're talking in the ring or your character is someone who speaks a lot to their opponent, that's something you should hear. Now, obviously you don't want people hearing calling everything other things, but like but you also should let those moments of the match breathe. And if you're close enough to the ring, or if you're lucky enough to be in a Sanctuary where sound travels the way it does, pick up on those nuances and listen to what they're saying to each other, or get good at reading lips.
Like even like with the match with me and PJ, you knew it was gonna be loud. You knew there was gonna be like a lot of like banter between us two, which there was. Like if you listen to the match, like you would hear me. We was talking so much shit. And like as the match was going on, like from like the second we walked through the curtain, we were just talking shit to each other. Like we were looking at each other from across the ring. At one point, we started name dropping people we trained with. At one point, I started wrenching his arm. I was like, "This is for Cowboy." It was just like, you know, I was just like, yeah.
So we if you listen to the podcast back, please do, with PJ Savage and Bougie. This is kind of a little bit of a trilogy of a podcast, if you will, of the journey of a stable and the journey of people who've come from the same school and are at a point now in their career where you guys are all kind of together, but also doing your own things and trying to stand out out of the stable and amongst yourselves, which is really fascinating and fun to watch. So how much of that was a respect and how much of that was maybe the legit rivalry of what's going on and kind of putting the two together and into a performance, pulling back the curtain a little bit here, you know what I mean? But like kind of blending the two worlds.
It was weird because like, I'm pretty sure. I think PJ touched on it a little bit. Maybe John's Bougie said something about it as well. Like things were fine till after the STP show. After the STP show, things got weird. I don't know exactly what it was, but there were tensions after the STP show. Like there were, even building up to the STP show, there were tensions. You know. Us butting heads, people arguing about certain things.
STP or SAT?
STP. Shane Taylor Promotions, the Takeover versus STP show.
Yeah. Gotcha. So
that was the lead up to that. And then after that, it was just like things were weird. We would butt heads, but we tried to like ignore that things were weird. And then that summer, I took a mental break because I needed like just to like, and we'll get into that later about like that type of stuff. I needed a mental break. I needed to breathe, you know. I was still there, but mentally I was gone. And then I come back and it was like a few weeks, like just not talking to people. And then like came back and I was like, hey, so this is gonna happen. I was like, what do you mean this is gonna happen? He said, yeah, well, John's leaving the group. What do you the fuck is going on here? What do you mean John's leaving the group? I didn't believe it. You know, I just thought, yeah, whatever. You know, I thought it was going to blow over until like it wasn't real till it happened.
Yeah.
Like when it was Takeover versus the Goons, which was so fucking fun. Oh, that was so fun. So fun to do. When I passed Bougie the briefcase and I'm holding Killian up, and he goes and he swings that briefcase. And I don't know if you've noticed, like PJ, you've seen his former Invictus briefcase. He had this long, heavy chain. He swings that briefcase in slow motion. Killian moves. I just see the chain swinging. I'm like, oh, this is going to hurt. Chain smacks him in the eye. Clean on the eye. And then I just lay there. And I was like, holy shit, this really just happened. This motherfucker really just hit me. Like, this really happened. And then after the match, he gets on the mic. And I didn't know what he was going to say. I figured he might say something if this was going to happen. But I didn't know what. And then, like, hearing him say all this stuff, like, I knew his like, anger was. And I knew who it was towards and what it was towards about. But he took it out on like everyone, and I just thought it was so weird. I was hurt. I was so angry about it. I was just like, he was like, F PJ, F Jaco, face is cool. I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
Like, I just took a mental break. I was just trying to escape. And, you know, I get it. Maybe I didn't put my part as much as I should have during the group. You know what I'm saying? I probably should have put in a little bit more work in certain aspects. I get that. But I needed I was just going through some stuff. That's a later discussion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough to like let it sink, to watch it happen, you know?
Yeah. Well, I definitely see, I mean, for Bougie's aspect, PJ is when you look at the group, he's top dog,
Mhm.
and PJ and Bougie's someone who's not going to take a second seat to that. He wants to be top dog. Taking a face is essentially a very nice security blanket to have. You tagged with him for a very long time. That has been your tag team partner. But I think the difference with a lot of like the takeover or with Bougie and Face, and the difference between that and the faceless ones is you and Face, you didn't rely on Face to be the muscle. You felt like you brought just as much to the tag team as Face did, and I thought you and Face complemented each other very well. Where more now Bougie is Face is like the pit bull for him, if that makes sense. And I hate this. I know I've said this before, but the day Face finds out that, or the day Face wants shiny gold, or he gets a bloodthirst for title belts, there's a lot of people who are fucked in this wrestling industry.
The day Face decides, F all this, I want it now.
Yeah, everyone's screwed.
Like, Face is a monster of a dude, and Face just like, I don't know what goes to that man's head. I don't. No one like he's Face is cool.
Ricky Price says Face is cool. Yeah,
Face is cool.
He's rivaling with Bougie, so he's already he's aware of what's happening.
Yeah, he knows why he's saying what he's saying. Then okay, cool. Yeah, just you can't. I don't know. It's just Face. You don't know what Face is thinking, but he is one of the most talented dudes out there. Like, I trained with him. I watched him from what he was to what he is. He is one of the most talented dudes. And that's one thing with just this entire group. They're all very talented. And I feel like no one in the group has really touched anywhere near their peak yet.
No, not even close.
You know? So it's just like, you haven't seen the best of PJ. You haven't seen the best of Bougie. I damn sure haven't seen the best of me. You haven't seen the best of Face. Watch when that animal comes out of Face. And just aside from the animal that you think of, just scary, grr, like there's more to it.
Yeah,
he's a beast in the ring.
Gaming with Justin says, I gotta ask, man, what was it like going through your head when Face walked out on you? Because you guys been teaming since Johnny Rods, and I want to know what was going through your head.
All right, so was that the day you were there? I'm trying to think. Were you there that day? For February Anarchy, were you there that day?
No, I was not. I
weren't there. That was the show. You weren't there. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it was the Fatal 4-Way Tag match. When I seen this match on paper, I was so annoyed by it because I was just, that's a lot of people. So everything happens. Me and Face are last to come out with champions, last to come out, whatever. And I didn't expect, Nutley. They're fucking crazy and loud. And
they're psychos.
I was going through it leading up to it too. And just like, you walked through the curtain and they were just like amped for us. And I do my whole little skip thing. That's around the time where it kind of really started. I just did my lap around, skipping around the ring, and they were just going crazy. And I was just feeling it. I was feeling it that day. I was like on cloud 9. I was just feeling. I didn't even do much that entire match. I think I jumped off the top to the outside, and I did something small. I feel like I didn't do anything that match. And I got tagged in. Took some clotheslines from a dude named Zay Spalding. Gave me a buddy to buddy. Went to go tag in the Face, and it was supposed to be like this big man moment. Puts his hand out. I was ready. He just slides it out. And that was another thing. It was just weird. It was just a weird feeling because Nutley's one of those places that you can feel when the crowd feels. So
100%. It's so hard to explain, and this is why we tell people, if you're in the New Jersey area or you can make the drive to there, do so, because those tickets sell out fast for a reason, because those fans are invested in the product, they're invested in what happens there, and it is, there's no energy like that building.
So when he pulled his hand out, you hear everyone. I was hurt, but I was more hurt for everyone watching, because it was something I kind of seen coming, seen it coming, but they didn't. So you heard their hearts say, you heard the gasp, you heard, and it got quiet for a second, and I was like, oh, this is weird. and then I got hit, and then I don't remember anything after that. But like, it was just that moment when he moved his hand, the crowd gasped of just like, did that just really fucking happen? And it just got really quiet for a second, and then Lion Core won or whatever. Then they started getting angry again. I was like, oh, there's Nutley. There we go.
Yeah. So when the band breaks up, and I obviously we've talked numerous times, and it's been debated, highly debated amongst the team of who's ranked where and who feels they fall into what place. I feel and I don't mean disrespect when I say this, but I think when people look at the squad, I think sometimes you fall down the list a little bit. But the thing is at any point in time, I say that you're always the guy who can fill in any of those shoes as well. But I always thought for a while there that the biggest hang up that you are your biggest opponent. It's not anyone in that group. It's not anyone in a locker room. It's not anyone else in your life. It's you. Watching you from the Sanctuary and going from this, like, I didn't see your Johnny Rods days. I didn't see the New York days. I just seen from you at Sanctuary to where I see you now from Win and all these other promotions. When I watch your footage, you are now finding yourself. You're starting to believe that you are the greatest Dan Showman. When you say it, you believe it. When it's said, you feel it. So when you have that match one-on-one with PJ, and I feel like something unlocked in you that night. Is that the moment where you start feeling like I belong here? I feel like I've made my stake. Are you still searching for that feeling? When did that come for you, or or is it something you're still searching for?
So I've had bits and pieces of my career where like I felt like that. I felt like that early in Johnny's, a little here and there, But like on the independent level, sometimes like I guess I like feel it with the group, but in terms of by myself, it was it's a little bit different places. Like the IWA show where Face turned on me, even though he turned on me, like that show was like still got such an insane reaction. I was like, wow, these people, like we really made them care. These people really care. So that was one. And then it was like, I think it was just everything after that. Like, even though he turned on me, there was so much good just coming out of just like, because I was around the time when I was like pushing out singles Jaco and just in general. So just around that time, like I did Titan, I think maybe a month after, it was like a fatal 4-way. And it was down to like me and Rocket. And like, you've seen Rocket wrestle. When Rocket wrestles, crowd chants for Rocket. So it was like, the fatal 4 was me, Jay Akira, Daniel Alexander, Rocket. Daniel Alexander and Rocket, when they're in the ring, you chant for Daniel Alexander, Rocket.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard to stand out when Rocket and Daniel Alexander are in the ring.
So,
but I think if there's anyone that can do that,
I think it was the Titan show, and it was elimination match, and it was down just me and Rocket, and the crowd was split between me and Rocket, and I think that was one of the more realizations. I was like, holy shit, did I just like split this crowd with fucking Rocket? That's pretty fucking dope. That was like confidence boost. I was like, okay, bet. What now? And then like less than a week later was the Win show. It was the Scramble match, and I wasn't even supposed to be on that show.
I want to dive into that a little bit. Okay, so like that show, Face opens up.
Yes.
Right. You're not booked. PJ's main event. You guys rolling together, kind of pulling back the curtain. You're there. You're with each other. You're rocking. You're supporting each other. Everyone's in the back. They're peeking through the curtains. They're cheering their boys on. You weren't booked, and then you were thrown in, which is essentially, sorry, indie promoters and everybody else, you're thrown into the multi-man match. Hey, this is the spot where we get people we say this is where we're going to pay attention and see if you can shine. But this is essentially the filler spot to get people in and just go out and do crazy shit and let's see what happens. And you're in there with, once again, very talented people who are show stealers, people who can do all of those things to stand out. And you stood out. And also I believe you stood out is because of the work you guys did as a stable as TakeOver, like people are invested in this group, and this group is going through, and I think people are starting to see this solo side of Jaco emerge. You have a great look, you have a great in-ring, you have a great confidence, and I know you're slowly starting to find it yourself, but you are winning over crowds.
Thank you. So
yeah,
I'll touch on the win thing real fast. Originally that match was, I'm not gonna say who, because I think they've said, I think this person's come forward to say he was supposed to be in that match, but then it was supposed to be me. I think he said it. Yeah, whatever. He said he was supposed to be in this match, and then he declined for his reasons. And then they decided, hey, put Jaco. And then the match graph comes out. It's me in the 6-way. I was there. I knew I was gonna wrestle, but I wasn't supposed to. I was just somebody like saying, give Jaco a chance. And then like, not to toot my own horn, but I got one hell of a reaction.
Sure did. And
that was like throughout the whole match. And it was just like, it was really shocking. I think that was another thing that was like, that reaction, like that really like did it for me too. I was just like, holy shit. This is really fucking moving right now. This is working a lot more. This is working a lot better than I thought it would, and a lot faster than I thought it would. And it was just like from there, started speedballing, and then it became the PJ match. But also, I know people just like think like the scramble matches, like 6 minutes, like the little filler match. I fucking love those matches. I think
talent love it, but I think promoters don't put as much stock into those matches as they probably should.
Let them. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Well, people don't put people's mindsets. They. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble. Fuck.
I'm not saying that Win did that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No.
Majority of wrestling promotions, when they put together a scramble, scramble is we have 6 people in a card, or maybe a match fell apart, so we're going to throw people in this match as a safety
scramble
cushion.
Because Win did care about individuals within the scramble. They cared about individuals in the scramble.
100%.
They cared about
that scramble was there to.
They cared about people in this scramble. They did. It
was there to get eyes on people on the show to then do something forward with them and storyline wise.
Yes.
So Win did care about the scramble.
Yes.
But that scramble, you stood out when you didn't technically have a seat at the table.
Yes.
And now they pulled up a chair for you.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And like I said, like I love that. Like I loved it because it was just like, there wasn't an expectation, like, because they didn't, like, I wasn't supposed to be in it. And the fact that, like, I just knocked the damn ball out the park so well, it was like, hell yeah, let's keep this ball rolling. And then the next stop was one of the next stops. The next stop I remember was me versus PJ.
Yeah. The momentum you're getting is amazing. Did you ever think to yourself that you would get such positive babyface reaction when you've played that bad guy role so long?
I'm such an asshole. So like, I thought I didn't think it was gonna work because I was just like, I'm such an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm such an asshole. It's like I think I'm good at being an asshole, and especially when it was at Sanctuary, like we made kids cry.
Yeah,
we literally, like, I would sit down on the ramp and just like talk, and the kids would start crying, like. That's not super babyface material. I didn't think it was gonna work. I didn't think it was gonna work. I have like a very high pitch. People say at a very high pitch, annoying voice. So like I worked with it. So I made it louder. You know. So it's just like I just expect to get booed every time I open my mouth, but it's just like lately it hasn't fucking happened. So
I always said, like, as soon as you start doing, I was like, dude, you could be this, like, Jaco could be a monster babyface if used properly. You have a good look. Yeah, like I said, everything is there for you can, but it's like out of the whole stable, like PJ can be the badass where he can play a tweener. Face can be the badass tweener, but when it comes down to like the charisma and what's there, like you have the most potential to play the extreme of either side or play the middle. You know what I mean? Like you have that ability to do so.
Thank you.
So let's kind of rewind. I know it was kind of talked about a few times on the podcast. We'll kind of dive into it real quick. But training wise, when did you become from a fan to finding your school, and then why did you pick the school that you went to?
So, I don't remember the fucking year that I seen the show, but Johnny does like school shows, like monthly or so. Well, used to. And when I was like, this is probably like 2010, 2011, something like that. Like my uncle's friend wrestled there at the time, so they were just selling tickets. Like, oh yeah, come to my show. We're just trying to sell tickets, so that they brought me along because they knew I like wrestling. And like, it was big. Cass was there at the time. It was funny,
dude. I have Enzo and Cass pops, and I got Enzo to sign it, but the day. So unfortunately, that's when Cass had the when he passed out and he fainted and had to get rushed. And then a couple weeks after that is when his demons got the best of him again, and then he had that locker room situation. Then a few weeks later, it was supposed to be them two at a show in Pennsylvania, and then that's when Cass went to DDP. And then he started living there for a while and getting his stuff together. And then I met them again at another show, but at the time I forgot I owned this because I had it packed away, so I didn't bring it. But I did get the chance to sit down and talk to him. And what a fucking sweetheart of a human being. I hate the name Big Bill. I hate it so much.
But don't tell Cowboy.
Yeah, I pulled him aside and I was like, dude, like, I'm so happy that you figured your life out, because I think your sky's the limit for you. You look fucking amazing. You look better now than you ever did in your entire career. Yeah. Like, and then I kind of told him, I'm like, I became close with your stomping grounds. Like, I've learned a lot of where you've come from and who you are as a person because of where you trained at Gleason's and Johnny Rod's and Cowboy and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, that means a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so I will always be a William Morrissey fan. I don't know.
I think it was right before. I don't remember if it was like right before everything happened or like right after the DDP thing. But he came through to Johnny's one time. He just spoke. He just came and spoke to us for like a good 2 hours. And no, he's just super sweet dude, super nice dude, very knowledgeable, and the dude moves. He a big dude, but he moves.
He's like better now that I've ever seen him.
Like, if you like, he was I don't know if it was Dynamite Rampage, and it was like a triple threat thing with like him and Swerve, and I don't remember the third person, but he was just moving that whole match. Like, he was just like going at it. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
But
dude, no one did what him and Enzo did in WWE since. Like, bro, what they did and what they would pull off on the mic and the crowd and the merchandise and everything they did was an anomaly. And people hate on it, like, oh, it was that, like, F you. When it was there, you were a fan. Shut the hell up.
It was good. It was entertaining as fuck. Like,
good.
They were over. Like,
dude, I own so much Enzo and Cass merch. You would, you know what I mean? And this is before I knew where he came from and everything like that. He's fantastic.
Yeah. But so yeah, I've seen him, and him obviously accompanied by Cowboy Billy Walker. For those who don't know, and we'll get more into Cowboy as we move on to when I actually started training. But I've seen those two, and it was just like, that was the first time like I seen wrestling independently live. Oh, this is kind of cool. And then I looked it up after. I was like, oh, this is a school. I'm gonna go here when I turn 18. Like, that's all it was. Like, I went to the show and I was like, oh, this is the school. Cool. I don't have to look anymore. I already found it. It's in New York. Perfect. That's all it was.
What was the distance from where you lived to the school?
I'm in the Bronx. That's Brooklyn, but it's like very like early Brooklyn. It's like the very beginning of Brooklyn, almost close to Manhattan. It's literally like the first stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's 40-50 minute train ride. Not too bad.
Dude, I still have not wrapped my head around trains and public transportation, because where I live, there is none. Like,
I love it.
You need a card or you get nowhere.
I love it. I know the train's like in the back of my hand. I don't even need the maps at this point. It's super easy for me. I've been doing this my entire life.
I'd be calling you. I've actually never been to New York City.
You haven't been to New York City? Really?
Never. I've never been to New York City. I want to go so bad to a House of Glory show. That's definitely on my bucket list. I would like to see a Gleason show. Like one of them. Now that hearing about it, I would like to go see the school and just kind of soak in where you guys came from, because like rolling with you guys as long as I have been and hearing the stories and Cowboy Billy Walker's. I told him the other day, I said, next time you go up, man, like, can I please ride up with you just to kind of soak in that environment? And he's like 100%. Like, yeah. But I also want to experience, and I always fuck up the name of this school, but Ahmed is helping train there now. What's that? Battle Club. Yeah. Big fan of what they're doing there too.
Yeah, they're killing it over there. Ahmed's doing his thing.
You could talk and we'll talk more with Ahmed this Thursday on the podcast. Ahmed's first podcast interview.
I started my first day of training was Ahmed's birthday. Funny enough.
Really?
My first day of training was Ahmed's birthday. So I always talk.
Who was all part of your like? How much of the takeover is part of your early days of training, or where was everybody? Like was PJ and all those guys still there? Were you before them?
No, we were all there around the same time. So the person that started first kind of was Face. Face started young, but Face wasn't there as often as we were back then, because he was younger. Yeah. So he started, but he wasn't really there. Then it was PJ. PJ started probably like 7 to 8 months, maybe a year before us, I think.
And Abs was there before all of us.
Abs was there before all of us.
He told me that on his episode. He's like, all those people, I was there first.
Abs was there before all of us.
I love Abs so much.
Honcho, Buck Skinner, Matt Banks, whatever you want to call him, just finished up wrestling. He's killing it right now. He's just killing it right now. He's wrestling in the New Japan Dojo showcase with Darren Young, Fred Rosser. How do you pronounce that? Fred Rosser.
I think it's Rosser.
Rosser. Hell yeah.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
He was he was a little bit after PJ. Then Ahmed was a month before me. Then myself. And then Bougie came like a month after.
Of course he was the last one.
Yeah. Bougie came a month after me. A month or two after me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was it. Yeah, that should be I think that's the
So what is the environment, or what was your experience of being trained in Gleason's gym by the people who have been there? And were you ever a cowboy kid? I just learned about that last podcast.
So there's 3 Gleasons. There's the first one, super old school Gleasons, Cowboys Gleasons. Then there's the second one, where I started. That was the one where Cass was in. And then there's the third one, the one they're currently at. They're all within the same area, but they're just like moved buildings over time. So
yeah.
I was the last person of the second one. I was like the last person to come in of the second one. We literally had to move all the beams and boards and all of that shit. And it's not a regular ring. It's like a custom ring or whatever. I had to move
a boxing ring, right?
It's not necessarily a boxing ring. It's just like a custom ring. I don't know. It's just weird. It's like at one point it was a boxing ring. Apparently, Cowboy. I think Cowboy has the original ring. And that ring. Apparently that ring's like dangerous. That ring's scary. That ring's treacherous. He always says,
I just feel like they would purposely get the most uncomfortable ring to bump on, just so you know what I mean. Like I feel like it's that type of school. Like
he always says, like, yeah, come down. You could train. You could train. I still have the old Johnny. I was like, can we train sanctuary, please? Ring. But yeah, we did the move or whatever. But the reason I mentioned that was because the Gleasons I started in, Johnny's office was a little further from the ring, so he couldn't really see as much. So he used to beat the shit out of me and Prince Ahmed. They used to beat the bricks out, like very old school. Like, all right, you're just gonna sit here, you're just gonna take all these clotheslines for about an hour, or you're just gonna keep bumping for about an hour, or you're just gonna have to kick out of everyone's pins for like 30 minutes, or you're just gonna like take everyone's moves. You're just gonna get your ass kicked for the next 2 hours, 3 hours. And like I said, I was the last person from that gym. Me and Ahmed were the last 2, but I was the last one. So we really got it for a while. till the new person came out, the new person being John, and then we beat his ass.
Yeah. I like, I don't know how it still works today, but like I was listening to a few different interviews and people's experience at schools, and sure, wrestling school is never easy, no matter where you go. But I feel like that type of environment is very old school and very like get tough or get out type.
It is,
type
and like I can't speak for because I haven't been to another schools. I don't know that environment, and I don't know if what I went through was normal, if it was hard, if it was old school. I don't know. I just know how I was trained. I loved it. I loved it, like just taking the clotheslines for an hour, getting my ass handed to me. I felt like I was earning something. I loved it personally. Everyone has a different experience. I know some people don't like it that way, and I understand for certain health reasons, concussion protocols, etc. I get that, but I personally loved it. I loved that like stretch you old, very cowboy. Cowboy had his weekends. Weekends were for Cowboy. And Cowboy would get in the ring. Everyone would just be on the apron and have to tag. And Cowboy would stay in the ring for literally 3-4 hours, like nonstop moving, no water. He would just stay in the ring. Finish with somebody. All right, tag out. You come in, and he'll just like as hard as he can. He'll take his hand and he'll grab your rib, and then he'll just like squeeze it and move it and make you feel things you didn't know were there. Like he was, Cowboy.
Hawthorne has that. Hawthorne uses that glove.
He got it from Cowboy.
Yeah.
From Cowboy. That's a Cowboy. That's a Cowboy special. He'll drop his knee like right here on your sternum and then grab you by the back of your head and just like kind of like bring you in.
Yeah.
Oh man, he used to beat the shit out of us. I loved it though. I love he did it.
First
with
time I ever seen him work. First time I ever seen a guy who wore a mask at Sanctuary work. I was very insanely impressed of how good and well he moves, and he is not afraid to take a bump, dude. No. He took a bump from the apron to the floor.
To the outside.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, he didn't
on
even
the non-padded side.
Yeah, nuts.
On the non-padded side.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, he'll just go literally for hours upon hours, like insane. But like he did it with all the love of his heart. Like you hear him speak as Cowboy's Billy Walker. He is very scary, very mean, but like you break that wall down. He's literally the sweetest fucking man.
When you earn his respect, it's nothing.
You earn his respect. He's literally the sweetest fucking human being. He's amazing person.
I said I never took a bump, and I'll never take a bump, and I'll never run ropes, and I'll never do any of that. But I always joked around. I said I want to be a cowboy. I want to be part of the cowboy crew, but just a commentator. I want to be a cowboy commentator.
He's great.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I really, my first season at the Sanctuary was you guys and the takeover, and I attached myself very much so to that stable and to the Billy Walker, the Walker clan, and it made me learn how to call character work, and it made me learn how to call heel work and stuff like that, and I attribute I attribute all of what I do for the most part to the Sanctuary. At that season just had so many reps. We were there almost every weekend, and if we weren't there on a Saturday, we weren't there on a Sunday, we were there on a Friday. Like I got more reps in half a year at Sanctuary than most people do their entire career at commentary, and you guys were a huge part of that, and even like the Sanctuary versus Walker clan stable will always be a very fond moment for me as a commentator, because that's where I got a lot of it from, and then I learned more of the professional wrestling side of things from like the PPWs and the Outbreak wrestlings. But that year at Sanctuary, man, was special, and I always will thank all of you for that, because if I didn't have the talent in the ring that helped me learn, and like I wasn't getting notes, it was just me and Pete just figuring shit out, and it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. Now you were talking earlier about we are getting close to the 45-minute mark. I don't want to keep you too long, and I want to get some questions for people. But you were talking a little bit about something when it comes to some mental health issues and stepping away for a while. What are some things that are problems for you, or some things that you struggle with, or mental blocks that maybe stunt you from performing or finding yourself, or making you have to step away. Because I wish I had the courage. I stepped away for a week of podcasting because everything I'm going through right now. And the entire time I step away and I always talk shit like, I'm going to quit. I'm fucking sick of this. It ain't worth it. I'm literally losing everything outside of this. And it's so fucking hard. And I just can't stop. You know what I mean? It's tough.
So like to break down a little bit, like without going too heavy into like, one of my things, it's I'm my worst enemy, you know? Like, I have confidence when I speak, when I'm talking in a promo, I believe every word I say. But when that camera's off, there's no curtain there. Like, my confidence is weary, you know? And it's just like, it won't always be a situation. It won't always be something's happening. It's just like, how my mindset is. Sometimes my mindset is literally just like, hey, you're fucking depressed now. That's it. And then you're just sulking in it. And it's not a specific person or individual or situation, or it's just how it is. It's just sometimes there doesn't need to be any of those things. It's just sometimes it's just attacked. And like depression, anxiety, mental health, it's all like real. It's a real thing. It's not something that should ever be shunned. It's a real fucking topic. It's a real situation because,
absolutely,
you know, while you see them one day like, oh, I just seen them yesterday, they're fine. It only takes an hour for someone to just like go on the deep end. That's it. Like it or less, you know,
or make a life-changing decision.
Yes, a life-changing decision. Yes. Like it only takes such amount of time. And like I'm thankful enough to like I have support systems with like my significant other, I have my kids, and I have certain people around me. I'm thankful enough for that. And I know not everyone has that, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things where it's just like it's tough to like really deep dive heavily into it because everyone's experience is different. I can only speak on my experience. And my experience, it's like when I did the promo, which was filmed and directed, produced by the amazing Kevin Woods, who's fantastic. Me saying I can't trust. Like people are such a great promo. I was just venting. I was just speaking. I was just letting shit out because like that's really how I feel sometimes. And like I said, it's not a specific person or people. It's just my mental health, my mental being, and you know we spoke about this before we went live, and we spoke about life a little bit, and you know I asked if like this is a situation, this is a topic we could speak on before we went live.
Absolutely.
Because it's very important to speak on, especially in wrestling. I feel like we just kind of like there's a lot of wrestlers that feel this, that just like internalize it and don't speak about it because we feel like we shouldn't. Like wrestling is so pushed back on like a lot of things. Like we can open up about this. We can talk about this. It's okay. It doesn't make us any less of a man. It doesn't make us any less of a worker, of a wrestler. It doesn't make us any less of a person to feel like this. I'd rather someone vent about it and talk about it than make a decision that changes things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There are people that care, you know? And like to whoever's listening, I hate New York. It's so fucking loud. It's so fucking unnecessary.
Anyway. Is that an exhaust of a car?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you that dude's dick is huge.
But
save some pussy for the rest of us, my guy.
But no, to whoever's listening, like if you ever like going through anything, like my DM's always open. I give my phone number. If you ever need it, like I'm very open about giving my phone number to whoever needs it. Like honest to God, from the bottom of my heart, I truly fucking mean that. Like I never want to see somebody go through something like that without any help.
It's hard, man, because like in this industry too, it's a situation where, and it happened to me where I opened up to somebody who I thought was a friend and somebody who I was really cool with, and I explained to them some of my struggles and mental blocks and where I stand with some of the things I go through, and it was used against me. it was then like weaponized against me. And sometimes too, you try to open up and try to go through that, or you tell certain wrestling promotions or people who book or anything like that you need a break, and they write you off. And it's it is hard sometimes to open up and put that out there, because it can be used against you in this industry, because it is an industry of who's tough, you know what I mean? And it's not fucking easy. But yeah, also too, man, those what he was saying about his DMs are open, man. My Discord community, so essentially where I'm at right now, my support system was one person, and that's not a thing anymore. You know, the huge reason why I'm in a new location. But my Discord community, man, has been fucking amazing. So if anyone uses Discord, dude, the ABJ Podcast Discord is more than just a place where we talk wrestling and movies and stuff. Like, there's people in that voice chat all day long, and they are the coolest people ever. And you can talk to them. You can go in there, open up. You can type. You can be in voice chat. All of it. Our Discord is open to anybody, and that's just not just a plug for you to come hang out and be in there. They have saved my life many of times. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah. But no, it's struggling. And the craziest thing too is when you have those moments of people that when you go to a show and you break that barrier between fan and friend, you know what I mean? Like, where someone's on the other side of the guardrail and they just connect with you, and then they become more than just the person who supports you at a wrestling show. They become family. They become like, you get to, is like, that's where like places like IWA and wrestling really shines through, is when it's almost like a family reunion when you go to a show. It's like, oh shit, there's my people. You know what I mean?
So a lot of the places I've gone to, I feel this, like Win, I feel this, Titan, I feel this, IWA, I feel this heavily, Invictus as well. But especially like the last IWA show, the PJ match, I've grown close with like a lot of the fans there. I don't really like to call them fans. I feel like fans is like, people look down on the term fan now. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's supporters.
Yeah,
let's say supporters. Yeah,
like I've gotten really close to a lot of people there, like Richard, who was sponsoring me, surprisingly, Team Supreme. I didn't expect that for the next IWA show, June 24th.
No, commentary always needs sponsors too. Just putting it out there. You know, sponsor
the commentators.
I'm the 100%. Dude with the mic the whole show. I will plug
show.
You the whole time. You know what I mean? We actually did that at SSW. If you ever go back and listen to our moments at SSW, RIP, I like a mini golf place sponsored me and Pete, like a dinosaur mini golf place in New Jersey. Bro, every match we're like, it'd be great right now, Pete. Let's go get some ice cream at the mini golf place. Like,
guys, if you want shouted out for every match, that's what you sponsor.
Yo, can we talk about something real quick?
Right there.
You know what ruins my mental health? Fucking on wrestling pages and wrestling Facebook and Twitter is when people say they can't stand when commentary tries to be funny, or they try to get themselves over. You know what my answer to that is? There's two answers. If commentary is fucking off during your match, it's probably because your match is sucking and we need something to entertain ourselves. I've never once fucked off during a match that was good. Just saying. Truth hurts. So don't shit on commentary when you go to listen to your footage and they're being funny. Also, where you ever tell JR and King and Tony Schiavone and all these other people that they shouldn't get themselves over or make themselves a brand on commentary? Yeah, you can.
You hear JR dick. Now on commentary,
like I'm saying, suck my dick.
Especially like when they used to do dark. Oh my god!
I drive hours and I put just as much time away from my family and my friends and my content and everything to be a part of a show at commentary. I deserve just as much.
Yes.
Than as you do in the ring. Yep. And sure, it is a 1-2 punch where we should be putting you over and vice versa, but don't tell commentary that they shouldn't get themselves over and they should just be a normal voice in the crowd. That's a piece of shit move.
If you notice, like every single time I'm out there, I always go and like, even babyface or heel, like I still go and talk like last fucking match. I was talking shit with you. I was like, say it again, Blackwell is the greatest damn show. Let's go.
Well, they said the greatest showman, and I said, excuse me, it is the greatest damn showman, sir. Yeah.
And then, but that's what I heard. I just heard you say, "Excuse me, the greatest damn show." I'm like, say it again.
Yeah.
Like mid match, like literally in the middle of like, I just dived. I just did a swanson to the outside, and like that's all I heard.
And I personally, I feed off that. If someone yells something from the ring to commentary, I feel like when Bailey and Michael Cole had that banter during the pandemic, I thrive off that. Like, And it happened, dude. The Ricky stuff, man. People fucking are like, can we do something like that at another promotion? It's like, that's fun. Like, I'm never gonna get in the ring. There's no payoff of you beating me up, but like, I'll have fun with it.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, I just can't stand when they say like, you're a commentary person, just fall in line and be generic and stupid and just say just be play by play, or like, fuck you. Don't book me then. Don't book me.
There's so many people in wrestling that are gonna have their opinions on what's right, what isn't. That's the thing about wrestling. There's nothing that's right, because then you ask them,
who's your favorite? They're like, oh, Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. All they did was make fun of people. Like Gorilla Monsoon was talking about Bret Hart's mother. No one knew that at the time. They're great moments. I don't know.
I feel you.
So that's my soapbox.
Sponsor the commentators, but yeah. But people like Team Supreme and like Cassidy Kelly, Justin, and like those are guys, those are people that like, you know, become like family in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like really like went from just like a supporter that became, listen, you're MTV and others at VH1.
I love that. I'm using that forever. The MTV of commentary. I love that.
Hell yeah.
We don't play music anymore here. It's just jokes.
We don't play music anymore. That's it. You got RuPaul's Drag Race. That's the #1 reality show right now. You're winning.
Yeah. Yeah, the MTV is just ridiculousness over and over and over and over again.
I'm saying they got RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, they have that now?
They just got that. It's the #1 reality show in the world.
So let's put some people over real quick. Who are some names that you have worked that you would want to work again, or who are some names you haven't worked that you would really want to? And who is someone you want to work that ABJ can pull some strings and get you back into that beautiful church and put some matches together?
There's a lot of guys.
I need this one dude beat up. If you want to come beat him up at the Sanctuary, I need that Ricky Price guy beat up. Plus, I think you two would have a really good match.
Listen, I don't know Ricky Price on a personal level. I don't think me and Ricky Price had a real conversation. We just follow each other respectfully on social media.
Yeah.
But I'll take a match with Ricky Price. I don't mind a match with Ricky Price.
I'm just trying to get all my favorite people back in the Sanctuary. So that's just my and if it's at the cost of beating up Ricky Price or wrestling Ricky Price,
you even said
it's a win-win.
Like, when you said a person that I'd like to work again that I worked before, like fucking love Andre Paulino. I love it. He's like, I wrestled him once, and he's killing it right now. Like seeing it like him like starting to venture out a little bit more too. Just like do more things. Yeah, like really shows talent. He is incredibly talented. I would love to work him. There's so many people. So many fucking people that like I could blank on for hours and then get upset at myself later for not remembering this person or that person. But there's so many people. Like I want to wrestle Anthony Gangone. Like he's just killing it right now. You know, he's the Titan champion. I'm at Titan. I'm not the heavyweight picture, but you know, I'd like to wrestle Anthony Gangone. Just say I wrestled him. Fuck. Yeah. You know, give me PJ again because I want his belt. That'd be cool. I hate Bougie, but I think me and Bougie could do something really special. Face is cool. Face is cool.
No, honestly though, how stylistically has that been something anyone's ever seen? You and Face in a one-on-one matchup?
Me and Face wrestled once one-on-one at NAW Massachusetts, and it was because our opponents didn't show up. So they were just like, okay, wrestle each other. This is your first time.
Oh, that's right. Oh, at in the park. I called that match.
Well, okay. Well, that's another one. That's you're talking about Lacey Day.
Lacey Day, you guys wrestled.
That's another one. That was a triple threat.
Beat the dog shit out of each other too. Like I literally asked the question, and then it popped in my head. Like I seen that match. I called it. Yeah. I was 16 miles away from the ring, but I called it.
Yeah. Anytime we're in the ring, we literally beat the bricks off each other. There are so many other guys. Johnny Moran also in tie-in. Like there are so many guys. I got like a snippet of working with Osito, like just a snippet. Osito's like insanely, ridiculously talented.
Yes.
I want to work
video him at the club dancing.
I was there. Yeah. He's just, oh man,
bro. If I had a car, F doing commentary there. I just want to party there. I just want
I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not even going to say it's a nice place. Let's just say it's a nice place. We're just going to leave that there.
The drinks look tasty. We'll say the drinks look
Let's
tasty.
say that.
But Spanish food is delicious.
Osito, Nikolai White, Gabe Sky, like Killian McMurphy, like they're people on this scene that are really like just. I do want to work. Like I'm blanking on names right now. You know
who I think would be a good match, and both of you are tag team people that I think singles wise are very, very talented, and it's probably a match, high tension wrestling. Ooh, Jaco versus Ahmed, that'd be dope. But this is one that's way out of the box. You versus Boomer Hatfield.
Boomer Hatfield,
okay. Former of Chikara. He's part of the Outfielders with him and Molly, or him and Shay. Sorry, Shay McCoy. Yeah, you think you and Boomer would be really, really good match?
I'm down for anything. Listen, yeah. I want to wrestle at this. Honestly, I want to wrestle everyone. I want to put on the greatest damn show with every single person.
Are you? Well, let's throw a Smash Master show in there. Possible. You versus MIT. You versus Jason Furious.
Listen, Uncle Masty, like you know who I am. Like I know you. I know the respect's there. Like. It's just one of those things like
Jaco versus Ryan Mooney. That's a good fucking matchup right there too.
A match that was supposed to happen that didn't get to me versus Rocket, which is I did really want.
I mean, Rocket comes to the sanctuary now. I'm just saying.
Stuff happens, but
come back to the church.
That would have been amazing. You know? And like Invictus has this thing right now where they're like they want to put me against like people from my past. Type things like these like Gleason's
that's gonna be a thing for you guys for a minute. There's a lot of money in that story.
Yeah, so listen, Invictus, you know, I know you got some guys lined up. I'm gonna be there September. Wow, September. I'm off it right now. I'm gonna be there June 25th. You know, I'm gonna be there. So, you know, if you want to bring somebody from my past, whoever it may be, let it happen. Let it happen. Keep bringing them. Bring on all the names from my past. I got a Rolodeck of names. I can help you out at this point.
Yeah. Where can people find you? Where do you have what are some stuff you have coming up? Where can people support you?
So right now we have known tie-in. I'm gonna be a tie-in June 17th. Jaco versus Daniel Alexander, which we're gonna fucking kill it because it's Jaco and Daniel Alexander. So that's gonna be a fucking hell of a show.
His dance.
So, I'm not doing the dance.
I love him so much. I love that.
Me, Rocket, and Daniel Alexander won a 6-man at tie-in. We won a 6-man, and they both dance. I'm the greatest damn showman. I don't dance.
Daniel Alexander just made his Sanctuary debut, so that's gonna be another place where I'm just saying.
I don't dance. But after the match, they both started dancing. I'm just looking at them. They're like, "Yeah." I'm just like, "No, I'm
just roll out.
I'm good. I'll leave that. I'll skip. I'll skip around. Like
that's why I listen to white people music. You don't have to dance. You just jump in the air.
Just headbang. Just fucking. Yep. Just that's all I do. That's it. That's my whole thing. But right before I get into that, like at the very top of the list, like independent. Like I don't even know if I call him independent. That's someone I really want to work is Will Ospreay. I'm gonna keep saying it every podcast I've ever go on because I just want to manifest that. I want to fucking wrestle Will Ospreay. Oh fuck! Now there's a billion other names I ran through: Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne, all those fucking GCW guys, Marcus Mathers. But the very top of the list is fucking Will Ospreay. I want to.
Marcus Mathers would be fun.
I want to wrestle.
I'm gonna see Marcus Mathers wrestle in a no-ring sports fight bar fight show at Tony Deppen's brewery next Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Joey Janela is gonna be there. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. So June 17th, I've tie-in. There's a Win show June 16th. You know, I haven't heard much from Win. So, you know, who's to say I don't show up at Win? It's just, you know, see what the hell goes on. You know, I might just show up and win just to show up and win. We'll see. Let's keep our eyes open for Win, people. We don't know. I'll be around. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. After that, we have IWA. We have Intense Heat, June 24th. 24th. The Greatest Damn Show was Open Challenge, sponsored by Team Supreme. Yeah, I have that. And then, like I said, Invictus has this idea of Jaco go through his Rolodeck of people. So I'm going to go through their Rolodeck of people from my past. Whoever you have this time, bring them on down. So Invictus as well.
What if Billy Walker hit the curtain? You're like I tap out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. That people are gonna be underestimating. It's gonna be a long day.
Why don't I do WWE watch-alongs anymore? Never say never. It is a lot to be consistently doing that every Monday, every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Friday. It's a lot, and it just I want to make other content than just watch WWE. But there may be some nights where I pop in and do a watch-along. So also we may do watch-alongs in the Discord. And when are we seeing ABJ versus Ricky Price? Never. I don't wrestle. I don't wrestle. So that match will never happen.
We've discussed this. Jaco is going to take ABJ's spot. It's going to be Jaco.
I bring people into the sanctuary so they can get great footage and experience the church, and then also get to wrestle Ricky Price. It's a win-win for everybody.
It is Jaco versus Ricky Price, whenever, wherever. That's what it is.
The next first Friday.
I didn't say nothing. I still
got to get live first. Cut that. Jaco, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you for doing this. I love you to death, man. Once again, if you ever need it, my door is always open if you need to talk. Seriously, man, your crew of people are definitely people I respect in this industry. And when I show up at shows, and when I showed up at Win, I felt, because all you guys were there, I felt at home. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter the locker room. When I see you guys there, it makes me feel welcomed. It makes me feel like I'm part of the team already. And you guys have always, I'm in IWA, and Pete's in IWA because of the work we did with you guys, and you guys put our name into other places. So like, I appreciate a lot of the stuff you guys done for me, because there's a huge reason why I'm in the Jersey scene is because of the work and you guys putting on my name over and giving me opportunities. So the love is always there, man, and I appreciate you to death. Everybody, please check out the links below. Follow Jaco on all social media. Go grab some merchandise from his Pro Wrestling Tees. He's got that beautiful shirt on right now.
And there will be more, I promise. I know I'm slacking, but I have ideas in my mind, and they're going to be really fucking sick.
Yeah. So make sure you go support independent wrestling. There are some names on the list as well of people who are injured that need all the help they can get. So go support them as well. We will see you guys on Thursday with the next interview, number 67, with Prince Ahmed. He's only doing 2 podcasts, so this is one of them. So I'm very, very excited to sit down with him and talk. He is such an innovator when it comes to moves on the fly, and just what he does in the ring is absolutely special. And it's like the Cowboy Billy Walker Gleason's reunion this month. I do have to sit down with Billy. We talked. It is coming, 100%. But yeah, thank you guys so much. That's gonna do it for the ABJ podcast. We'll see you Thursday at 7:00. We're out of here. Join the Discord. Go buy a t-shirt and join the Patreon. Love you guys to death. And leave 5-star reviews on audio platforms. Bye bye.